how he responds early to the Notre Dame shooters.
Henningsen and Leonard, they battle for it, and it's picked up by Notre Dame with the first possession. And a quick score the other way. Notre Dame couldn't hang on to the ball, and Dubik finishes for Maryland. The Irish had it for a moment. Cohen couldn't hang on, and Louis Dubik buries the first goal.
And he has that sixth sense to understand where the defense is playing. Cuts back door. Pay dirt. Caught in riding from the opposing offense.
And a shot and a score from out in front. Connor Morin ties the game for Notre Dame.
He's thick and he can get to the rack. Finding confidence and understanding the schemes within Kevin Corrigan's offense is what will be pivotal for Morin as he matures. Only a
his first real major run at Maryland. One of those older guys seeing some more action as that one is good. And buried by Kyle Long for Maryland. 2-1 Terps.
The defense's poor approaches. You see that jab towards the middle of the field. Gets the defense to bite just a little bit. The hips rotate, and that's when you attack.
And we were talking before the game, Clark, this defensive midfield group for Notre Dame is really an area that Maryland's going to look to attack. And that time
they hit you with two guys. You got Shockey and you got Henningsen, so it's like once you start getting into a groove, they throw the other guy out there.
That one is buried as well by Bubba Fairman. 3-1 Maryland.
Kelly, an all-time great for Maryland, graduates last year. He let Bubba kind of get acclimated, right? And didn't have to rush him to be the get deep into possessions against Notre Dame. They're actually better. Hard to wear that unit down.
DeMaio the feed, and a score for Wisnauskas.
Look at the release and the high heat from Logan Wisnauskas, 12 in red, and he gets Schmidt thinking low the whole time. You saw the body language of the goal.
Types of product we found out pregame, which is very important to our audience.
This matchup deserves it.
Ooh. Out in front, a score for Notre Dame. Beautiful ball movement to make it 4-2.
Stud after stud. He's always been a big-time righty shooter. In high school, he shot over 100 miles.
Kevin Corrigan likened it to the block charge that you see in basketball all the time, where it's so difficult. And he said that's who he sympathizes with, is the officials.
And Gleason finds some space on the welcome mat to stick it. It's double counting, just wipe the goal off.
I think when he makes that play and he dives towards the goal mouth, the defense should get the ball on the side of the field or give him a free clear. To make that team go man down, I'm sorry, for refs to call
all season long. Stay away from my scalp.
Love telling the stories of these great kids and coaches. And Willetts again.
This is a tie game. Second for Willetts.
Feeling it.
Owned the paint in years past. Willetts oftentimes will operate about 7 yards above goal line, extended on the high crease. Now he's behind. So you take the typical.
You mentioned Muffet, and Kevin Corrigan's a great example of these long-tenured coaches here for the Irish.
And Notre Dame takes the lead. Meyer sinks it to make it 5-4.
Meyer on the first take, and it was a similar type move, but it all started with Schmidt. I mentioned his play the first year and change has been a little up and down. Today he's been on fire, and it gives his offense more opportunities. And Meyer
in this defense, what does Maryland need to do?
I want to see Bernhardt get aggressive, one in red, take charge of this game.
He passes instead and finds Long to score.
To make this defense spin. The beautiful thing about this play is he goes to the rack and kind of feels out Kilty, right?
Kevin Corrigan mentioned him as one of the guys he wants to put in better situations for their skill set in this game and moving forward. Costabile buries it, and Notre Dame takes another lead, 6-5.
That is juice. And there's the hitch I talked about. He's a step-down shooter, so defenders will press out, and then
Hallenbeck. Momentum for the Irish, and Hallenbeck, 7-5.
On one side, you get a save by Schmidt. And Dubik was kind of neither here nor there with that shot in terms of just conviction. Well, on the other end, Hallenbeck, time, room, plant your feet, giddy up, conviction, no doubt. Top shot.
You end up fighting your instincts as a player, don't you?
Absolutely.
8 to shoot, and Snyder's got it.
Who got the hockey assist?
Bernhardt.
His selfless attitude in terms of points, goals, and assists don't matter. All the attention was there. Kicks it down to Wisnauskas, and then he finds that seam across the field. That's beautiful offense right there. That is patient, beautiful offense.
So much when Maryland's playing make a take at Lacrosse like they were for a lot of the first half.
Fine from Bernhardt. Snyder, another one. We're tied.
Bernhardt senses the defense is kind of ball watching. Boyer, the freshman there, is looking at Bernhardt and doesn't understand. Behind him, Snyder slips. And when he slips...
I try to avoid steel cages as a rule. In front, a score. Connor Morin dancing near the goal.
Notre Dame went into halftime with.
That's what we talked about, right? 22 and a couple up Tillman. I mean, they become like the staple on championship weekend. So you do it with your young guys.
Jackaboys is good. 9-7.
To the party. This is a great move. He slices the defender up and then has the understanding, okay, I cleared my space. I'm now going to go upfield to increase my angle. The plant foot loses the defender, and then the awareness. He sees him falling, and as he's falling, he changes his hands to increase his...
You can feel it in this place. Notre Dame's got all the juice. Gleason sinks another at 10-7.
Pick up the ball quick. The Terps are in a bad spot. He uses his offensive teammate as the pick guy to increase his ability to find...
McNamara again. Notre Dame plows forward and scores! Morin a somersault as he bangs it home.
For the Irish, Connor Morin, the sophomore attackman. Irish up by 4, whether you like it or not.
He may not be in favor of eradicating faceoffs after this run. Snyder bounces it at the crease and through. It's a hat trick for Snyder.
And you start the season 1 for 19. You can't buy a goal, and what happens then is every time you catch and you plant your feet, you're thinking too much. But then he got his first one, and now he's 3 for 3.
Back behind for Long. Bernhardt is good from short range. Let's see, does it count, or did he get whistled again for diving to the goal mouth? It is a goal.
And you might be right, because of the quick action and the ref making that call at a split second over fast play. It's tough. Dives. Well, he was also hit too. He gets hit. So his trajectory looks like initially away from the goal mouth, and watch Kilty come in, changes that trajectory. Yep. So that's the key thing there.
And that's just another thing.
Here they were scrambling. Bernhardt behind. He scores!
The opportunity for this, your best player behind the cage. I mean, when you...
Kid can scoot.
He's getting harassed by Kilty right now.
He turned the corner on him. Gotten rid of it. Wisnauskas ties the game.
At Wisnauskas and his feet. Long getting harassed. He keeps it going, the freshman. Critical for this play. Watch the feet. I don't care about the stick. The feet and the jab step low gets a defender coming on a poor angle. He's vulnerable, and it increases his angle. It's the feet of 12 on that play. You heard one of the coaches screaming, skip, back pipe. With all the pressure on ball, that's where the opportunities are for the offense.
Gleason scoops it. and that one's good.
The Vermont product was a hockey player with grit, the ability to find the back of the net. He's got his Irish up by 1.
Gleason probing, and he scores going low. That was lethal.
Done for the day, not so fast. He scores goal number 12 for the Irish. And then this one to put him up by 2. And this is where he's always been good. When he was playing attack or midfield, it was those in-between dodges that made Gleason so effective. Because it's 2 things.
He's been there and done it enough to make it happen.
Schmidt gets in front of that one off the stick of Sawatsky, but the follow is there for Maryland, and it's 13-12. Wisnauskas in the offense.
Didn't make a clean save, meaning he didn't possess the ball. Looked like it might have gone off his shin, actually, from that spot. And it's the feet last time.
DeMaio keeps his feet. Ball loose. Snyder's got to chase it down and can't keep it. Still loose. Fairman's after it, and he's got control. In a scramble now. Wisnauskas, spin dodge out in front of the score! DeMaio ties the game!
Ball from going out of bounds, attacking the midfield. This is craziness. Bubba Fairman keeps the ball on his stick, too, after a check, and his head's up right away. That's the thing. When you scoop a ball in transition, your head's up right away because the ball movement and the lack of ability for the defense to be in their right spots.
Gleason in a hurry. Turns around past Makar. Back behind. Willetts. Hesitation. And a score! It does count! Notre Dame wins!
This will be, when we look back at the season, one of the great games of 2019, and credit Brian Willetts, who played a fantastic game this afternoon. We saw him on the high crease. We saw him coming from behind, but no goal has the junior scored in his career bigger than that one.